Welcome to the Sports Savage, another audio edition. Sammy's got some laptop issues, so we're just gonna be doing it like this until we get that figured out. What's the status on that one, Sammy?
Yeah, not to put my business out there in the streets, but my shit is fucked up. So just get used to the sound of my voice, because that may be how we rock it for a little bit.
Anyway, we'll start out right with it. Tua injury. Tua Tagovailoa. Can you say his last name, Sammy? Tua Tagovailoa. Is that it?
Hawaiian last name.
I think it's Tua Tagovailoa. I don't know. I said it right for the second time. So he gets the same injury that Bo Jackson gets. So everyone's like, uh-oh. Is this going to be the same fate? So now what does Tua do? He's definitely dropping in the draft. Let's say Tua went out the season 100% healthy. I still don't think he'd be the number one quarterback taken. What do you think?
I don't know. I feel like that's debatable. This is the curse of amateur sport. We're not going to be able to express how much this fucks Tua's future, but he pretty much put millions of dollars at stake for an amateur football game that was really important to people. They were marketing this as the follow-up to the game of the century, and I know that not only Nick Saban, but the whole state of Alabama put a lot of pressure on that kid to go out there and perform. But obviously he wasn't at 100%, even in the follow-up game against Mississippi State, I believe it was. So I'm going to put a lot of this onus on the organization or the school of Alabama for maybe pressuring this guy into doing something that he wasn't ready for. I'm almost 100% sure that if it wasn't LSU or it wasn't a big-time SEC matchup, as far as the game prior to this one, they would have trotted him out there. But yeah, if you're Tua, this is a pretty sad story to face this major injury when your prospects are so high.
Yeah, I don't know. I just think Burrow's going to go number one. And because it's going to be Cincinnati. He's from Ohio. I don't know, man. Dude's playing on a different level. But as far as Tua goes, people are saying he has, what is he going to do? Is he going to go right to the NFL? Is he going to go back to school? Or is he just going to sit out a year? What do you think is the best option for Tua going forward?
If I'm Tua, I'm trying to get to professional sports as soon as possible. I can rehab as a professional and get paid for it versus coming back to Alabama just to not play. So if I'm him, I'm not leaving the school, but I'm definitely not playing for Alabama going forward, and I'm looking forward to my career.
Because some people are saying he should do kind of what Nick Bosa did, only for like an entire season. So like he won't play. Actually he might even leave Alabama. Let's say like Nike gives him a contract or whatever, right? Enough for 1 year just for him to like train. And then would his stock go up? I don't know. I mean, why wouldn't it?
It's possible, but you're still rolling the dice. I mean, can your stock really get any higher than it was prior to this injury? I mean, you're the best quarterback in Alabama history, and although you do have a Joe Burrow who kind of, raining on your parade as far as being the top guy, undoubtedly, other than having that hometown bias in Cincinnati, probably going winless this season, it's kind of like a perfect storm that has him not going number one. I feel like he was still obviously a top draft prospect before the injury, so why not just go forward with it and show up at the combine, do the meetings, maybe not work out, but you'll still be able to provide some type of private workout. Presumably, if the surgery goes well, then you come back 100% on schedule. So I just don't understand why coming back to the collegiate rank makes sense.
And that injury had even bigger ramifications. Alabama is 5th in the BCS playoff, whatever they want to call it now. So I can't really remember a time that an injury is going to keep a team from not going up. Because they dropped to 5, and the committee knows now that Tua is not going to be there. So the committee they're so shitty because they can put the puzzle together any way they want and they're all going to win. But it's turned into this big political thing for, I guess, ratings.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing something different as far as allowing the playoffs. So there's something on the field to determine the best team in the country. But when you have ADs or representatives from different schools on the board as far as the playoff board or organization, that's conflicting. That's a little collusion within itself.
Yeah, how was that allowed? How was that allowed? For you can vote on like your team to go in. Like, how do they not expect them to do that?
Well, I mean, I think they have an AD from Oregon. I can't recall the guy's name, but supposedly he recuses himself from any Pac-12 talk. So whatever the fuck that's worth. I mean, obviously everyone on the board is going to have your school's thoughts in mind, even if you're not in the room because you're part of their team. But I mean, that's neither here nor there. So there's never going to be a perfect process, but this definitely leaves a lot of holes. And if you're Alabama, if you continue to handle business and you take care of your opponents in front of you, I feel like you built up enough clout where they can come up with a bullshit reason to allow you in the playoffs, even though you're not a conference champion.
I mean, I could see a situation like if Oregon gets hot, they want some kind of West Coast love, but I mean, Alabama's still a machine, but they are not the Alabama we've seen. I think it's a safe bet to say Alabama will not be in the championship game this year. Their defense is kind of decimated. Now you got Mac Jones. I don't even know what he looks like. But you know what? I don't want him in this year, Sammy. Keep them. They've had their time in the sun.
I don't know if you recall a hot take that I provided to you a couple episodes ago, but I told you that LSU game was going to be maybe the fall of the boogeyman as far as Nick Saban's untouchable type or over college football in the SEC particularly. So, I mean, it's really going along with, what I had to say months ago.
Yeah, you're right. Big, big, big football weekend for the NFL, Sammy. I'm pulling up the games now. There's some huge games with big implication. Let's see. Thursday night game's going to be a stinker. Colts, Texans. I don't know. I'd like to see I don't know. Like, I'm kind of pulling for the Colts.
Yeah, I mean, the Colts have owned the Texans in recent memory. T.Y. Hilton, to be specific, there's nothing that anyone in that Texas secondary has been able to do with him since they drafted him. And they're getting Brissett back. So Brissett is looking really like a most improved candidate, if not the front runner, because when he's behind center, they're a playoff team. And you saw what they were with Brian Hoyer. So obviously, he's having a major impact as far as the success that they achieved throughout the season. So, I mean, you don't want to see the Deshaun Watson, Hopkins to come off of a disappointing loss to my Ravens, to a back-to-back loss to a Colts team. So you want to believe they have that bounce back in them. But, yeah, it's kind of hard to pick against the Colts in that particular matchup.
Sammy, how big is your dick when you go to the bathroom when everyone knows you're a Baltimore Ravens fan? I mean, they are the most badass team right now. They're the most fun team to watch. How does it feel, Sammy, to have the best team of football? I gotta know.
I mean, it felt like something that you knew weeks ago that people weren't really trying to say. A young quarterback who supposedly, was supposed to be a running back or a receiver, who so happens to be black, so they believe he can throw like that. I mean, how do you feel when what you already know comes to fruition? I feel great. We're definitely ahead of schedule. Don't get me wrong. The defense has been playing lights out ever since we were able to make some off-season pickups. Free agents, really, guys off of the street. They've been able to come in on the defensive side and make a huge impact. But it's just crazy, and by crazy, I mean really fucking stupid. When you see people who get paid to talk about sports, or people who talk about sports in general, say one thing, like, hey, this guy's not going to be good at all, and then completely say the opposite, like, hey, this guy's the MVP. So it feels pretty great, other than people are condescending and don't know shit.
Nah, man, I mean, just think about it. Like, Lamar Jackson, he was the last pick of the first round, and he's ultimately the best quarterback to come out of it. Now, he did have, his senior season was but his junior season, when he won the Heisman, this dude was unstoppable. So I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for you, I guess. If the Vikings weren't if the Vikings weren't like as decent as they are now, like in that game last week, the only game I had on was the Texans Baltimore game, but then they changed it because it was such a blowout. And then they put on the Vikes, and they were still down by like I don't know, almost 20 points. And I saw that comeback. But Sammie, what did I tell you before that game happened?
You have to refresh my memory, man. You're a savage. You say a lot of it.
Dude, I said this is going to be their, laydown game. Like, they're going to blow it. Like, this is set up for failure. Like, this is a game they're supposed to win, and they're probably going to blow it. And they almost did. But you know what? I'm happy I was wrong. Kirk Cousins playing pretty good. Slapping my hand. Dalvin Cook leading the league in rushing. Are the Vikes getting hot at the right time, Sammie?
I mean, this is as close as we've been to an all-purple Super Bowl in a while. I hesitate to give a guy like Kirk Cousins credit because I don't know if he works well once he receives, validation and things of that nature. But I mean, he has arguably the best running back in the league. You guys are winning without your best offensive weapon as far as Adam Thielen. I feel like when he's clicking on all cylinders and Dalvin Cook is running the ball, you guys are pretty potent offense. And your weak link is a quarterback who's in his athletic prime who you're giving $85 million guaranteed. So, I mean, other than Aaron Rodgers, who's, scary on any given Sunday, you got Dak who's heating up, but the Cowboys are the Cowboys, so they're suspect. I mean, you got to put the Vikings in that contention as far as the top team in the NFC. I still don't know who the 49ers are, and to be honest with you, they have us on their plate, so that 49ers-Ravens matchup is going to be pretty interesting as far as to really see who the best team in the NFL is. But, yeah, you got to like what the Vikings are doing, but it's going to fall on the shoulders of Kirk Cousins, just like it is as long as he's the quarterback for the Vikings. You guys have been a contender that's primed and ready to make some noise and lacking that quarterback position, and he's supposed to solve that problem. So let's see if he can really do it. And as far as my Ravens, the best thing I can say is ahead of schedule. Can I say going into the season I thought was being 7-2 and competing for a first-round bye in the playoffs? Nah, no cap. I'm not going to say that. I'm not that fucking guy. But with that being said, did I know Lamar Jackson was actually a quarterback? Absolutely. Did I know that he was probably one of the better rookies drafted? Absolutely. But ahead of schedule, that's the best way to put it. He's playing amazing, and with the running game and the defense and Lamar Jackson, anything is possible.
No, man, they even had the Heisman backfield. That was so cool with Mark Ingram and Robert Griffin III. Like, do you see more of that, or do you think that was just the one-trick pony?
I think that was a little trolling. I think that was definitely a play you run against a team that hasn't won this season. So I have confidence in Robert Griffin in the role he plays right now. And could we maybe pull that out in a crazy high-stakes scenario and pull off some crazy shit? We're feeling good about ourselves, so definitely. But I feel like that was maybe more so to troll the divisional rival with the Cincinnati terrible Bengals.
Yeah. What a pickup Ingram was, man. But we're going to move on. Big game. One of the bigger games. Cowboys, Patriots. Patriots are favored. Cowboys probably have better players. Who you got, Sammie? Cowboys are going to Foxborough.
This is the Dak Casey game. Dakota Prescott will go into Foxborough and sneak out with a victory. That's what I feel. If you're asking me to be 1,000% honest, do Baltimore need New England to lose the game so we can get home field? Absolutely. But this is the moment where Dak proves I need that bag, Jerry. I'm going to go do something that the great Carson Wentz can't do. I'm going to go beat Tom Brady, and I'm going to go into Foxborough to do it. Maybe there's a Zeke sighting because, he's been falling off the past couple of weeks. And with a great defense or good defense as far as New England, one way you kind of shut them down or have them bend to your will is running the ball. So definitely probably a heavy Zeke dosage. But that play-action game, I feel like works out for Dak. This is his coming out party. This is a signature win for him.
That would be awesome. Like, I would love to see the Cowboys win. I'm not a huge Cowboys fan, but I like Dak. Like, I root for Dak. I think, he's kind of an underdog. He wasn't drafted very high. He's in the Cowboys. They're big, and everybody else got money but him, but he's the one balling out. So I would love to see them win. I would love to see the Patriots lose. Patriots offense is such a joke. It's just their defense is so stout, man. Defense wins championships, but I would love to see the Cowboys win. I don't know. That's a big spread. 6.5 points. I don't know what Vegas knows, but I'd love to see the Cowboys win.
Yeah, I mean, definitely heightened increase of attention paid to the sneak out of Foxborough with the win. I would be surprised they go in there and flex their will on the New England Patriots. But with that being said, that offense is just not clicking. So they have the pass rushers, they have the talented running back core, but it's more so their secondary gets part of the Dallas defense. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Cowboys won that game just based off of the trajectory that Dak is on, and we can wait to have a breakout game. So them going up to New England, winning that game shows me that they actually are a contender, and New England maybe isn't as real as that 8-1 record that they are.
Well, you guys embarrassed New England. So, I don't know.
New England, Cincinnati, Miami, there's a good list
there. Here's another team I'm pulling for. Raiders, Jets. I'm on the Raiders train, man. Like, I want to see the Raiders make some noise. AFC is weak. They could totally make a move in the playoffs in the AFC. Raiders, Jets, Sam Darnold. I guess they won. What did they won? 2 in a row? The Jets? And they think they're on some kind of roll? I don't know. I like my Raiders. I like Josh Jacobs. Let's go. They got some dude who went undrafted who's like leading the league in sacks, I think. I think his name is it's like a defensive end. But what do you think about Raiders?
Crosby.
There we go.
You're thinking about Crosby. You're thinking about the Caucasian guy. Because leave it at the seven. Like,
oh, yeah. Have you seen him? He looks like such white trash. Like, it's so funny. Like, I'm like, yeah, I like this guy. But, dude, how good does that Khalil Mack trade look now?
Yo, I mean, that's a pretty good takeaway there. I'm not ready to accept that because you have to include Mitchell Trubisky in the Mac part of the Chicago deal. But I mean, yeah, if you're John Gruden, as each day passed, you look even more intelligent for moving off of Khalil Mack and accumulating those picks when you get into Vegas. You had a light bulb go off in my head. There is one playoff game that I can predict where there is no loser. And I'm going to go with the Chiefs-Raiders wild card matchup. Could you imagine that fucking game? Simply because, John Gruden, what the fuck are you doing getting the Raiders into the playoffs? And then you have Patrick Mahomes with a so-called playoff. He should win. But if you're the Raiders, and after everything you've been through, winning a fucking playoff game will almost be like winning a Super Bowl. Like, there's no losers in that game. If you're Patrick Mahomes, you get the little layup game, so you go into MT Bank Stadium, which is in Baltimore, by the way, with a little confidence. Or at minimum, John Gruden just won a fucking playoff game this year with a supposedly shitty roster and Derek Carr. Like, I feel like that would be such an entertaining game. I genuinely wouldn't give a shit who won or lost.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I'm looking up like their drafts. They like pretty much hit on like everybody. Let's see, 2019. But dude, what a scene that would be. And you're right.
And they're missing their safety. The Abrams kid, the Raiders. That safety they got, he's legit, and they're missing him.
Yeah. So they got. Yeah, he's out. Max Crosby, he's playing. Hunter Renfrow, another one of my boys. He's doing work in there. The tight end's doing work too. But no, you're totally right, dude. That would be the Raiders Super Bowl. They're probably going to Vegas next year. Nobody knows. Everyone's got their hands in their pockets. But nah, man, like you're like all the AB drama, all that kind of stuff, and going through that. They were on Hard Knocks too, weren't they?
Yeah, and it unfolded in front of all of our faces. I mean, for them to make it to the playoffs after that, I mean, even if they lose it, I mean, you're still walking out with your head held high. But if John Gruden, I mean, just imagine if you were just telling somebody before the season started, yeah, they're going to make it to the wild card. They're going to get a playoff. That Raiders team, yeah. The guy with the fucked up iceberg feet, yeah. The guy that doesn't want to practice, yeah. John Gruden, yeah. That guy, yeah. They're going to win a playoff game.
Dude, all right, so here's their next games. At the Jets, they can win that game. At the Chiefs.
Not if, when they win the Jets. Fuck the Jets. They trash. What's the game after the Jets?
At the Chiefs.
Wow, that's crazy that I brought that up. I mean, if they're a playoff team, they should beat the Jets. So that Chiefs, if Patrick Mahomes loses to the Oakland Raiders, I feel like that may be a statement win for John Gruden as far as his second go around with the Raiders.
I don't think they're going to beat the Chiefs at the Chiefs. I think that stage is going to be too big. But then they got the Titans. They can beat the Titans. They got the Jags. They can beat the Jags. They got the Chargers. They can beat the Chargers. And then the Broncos. I could see them going 4-5-1 in their last 6 games, Sammy. Is that ridiculous?
Not at all.
No, I'm pulling for Oakland. They're my AFC boo. I don't really have a team in the AFC, so they're going to be my boo. Packers, Niners.
Well, I can respect you not jumping on the Raiders train. I could at least respect that.
Packers, Niners. This is the big one. Rodgers, Garoppolo, 2 handsome guys. Only one's going to win. It's at the 49ers. I don't know if 49ers... I don't know. Is Kittle coming back for that game? Do you know?
I'm checking now. As far as I know, it looks like he should be back. I definitely, on the fantasy note, could catch his accent. He's been eating. So shout out to Jimmy for feeding tight ends. I mean, as far as I know, Kittle should be back. I know Debo suffered a shoulder injury, but I think he's practicing. So all in all, the 49ers should be on full tilt. So that should be a good matchup. Shout out to Jimmy G for playing good enough to where we don't question how good he really is. I don't know if that's going to be like his tenure or his like maturation as a quarterback, or maybe he's not the height of a Brady Manning, but he's more like a Matthew Stafford, where he's a guy where he's going to throw it a lot and maybe throw it to the other team sometimes, but also make some great plays. But yeah, that should be a big one.
I don't know. I hope the Packers lose because I don't like them. But they're 8-2. I mean, both these. I mean, the NFC is so loaded, Sammy. It's crazy. I mean, it's going to be a hard battle to get to the top. Panthers, Saints. Saints are 8-2. Lost a couple fluky games. Panthers, they're lost in the sauce at quarterback. My boy Christian McCaffrey ain't getting his carries. I don't know. I mean, it seems like this is just an easy pickup game for the Saints.
And boy, do they need it. The Saints, they're a sleeping giant. I feel like maybe having Drew Brees come back after you're on such a roll with Teddy Bridgewater threw them off, and the Atlanta team that they lost to went back and got another victory against that Panthers team. So, maybe they're not so much of a bye week going forward, and that's not so much indictment on that team, more so than just what the Falcons are doing. So I don't know where they stand right now. This is going to be a good matchup against the Panthers team, who, to be honest with you, should be looking forward to next season after that performance that Kyle Allen put up. I want to give love to all the motherfuckers who were saying Kyle Allen was a franchise quarterback, because if you look around, they're not going to be anywhere to be found. They're all going to be talking different narratives. I got my boy Colin, which is, again, my boy, who was a big Kyle Allen fan, all of a sudden now saying Teddy Bridgewater should end up in Carolina, when that doesn't make any fucking sense. If you're not going Kyle Allen, you should definitely wait on Cam to come back. As one of my boys, shout out to Bravo, has been telling me from the beginning, who's a big Carolina Panthers fan. So I don't know. It's just, and that's going to be a big game to show Carolina, hey, we really need to gear towards next season, probably having our former MVP quarterback 100% healthy, and also a statement win for the opposition.
Well, what does your friend think about the situation as like a fan? What does he think? Does he think Cam's coming back, or does Does he know? Or
I mean, from what he's telling me, from the sources he has, he doesn't understand why the media has such a strong narrative to get rid of Cam. Other than the media just genuinely doesn't like Cam Newton. But yeah, it wouldn't make sense for you to at least not to give your former Super Bowl caliber MVP quarterback a chance to get 100% healthy, who was 7-2 the last time he was under that North Turner offense. So what I'm getting from him is just simply that the organization, even though they didn't draft Cam, it just wouldn't make sense to get him up under a guy who has so much talent so soon, and that should be the game plan going forward. Now that Kyle Allen has exposed himself with those 4 interceptions against
Browns, Dolphins. What a stinker. Browns, man, they're still clinging on to life. Dolphins, they fight till the end. Like, you got to give them that at least. Dude, how great would it be if the Dolphins go to the Browns and win? Because this game means nothing to the Browns probably, but it probably means more to the Dolphins than the Browns.
That would be amazing if somehow the Dolphins are able to come up and pull off that so-called upset. I mean, when the Steelers and the Browns, there really are no winners for me. But I don't understand how the fucking Browns were able to pull off that win. They were so fucking dysfunctional, and just Mason Rudolph is just trash. So I don't think that. I don't think that he's unsuspended trash, by the way, not suspended trash nonetheless. But with that being said, I don't think the Browns are legit. I can easily see them losing this game. They're just too dysfunctional. Probably a year ahead of schedule. I feel like if they're somehow able to keep OBJ after this offseason and bring him and Jarvis back with another year, probably get an offensive line, maybe they'll be able to work some shit out. But right now, I can see Miami winning that game, and I really hope they do.
Dude, I'm calling it now. I think Beckham's out after this season. I think he's going to demand another trade. He's going to go to, like, New England. I don't know, because New England wouldn't give up enough to get him. I think I don't know. He might try to pull an Antonio Brown, get released, and then get to sign wherever he wants. I don't know. Could you see players doing that in the future? I mean, it almost worked for Antonio Brown if he wasn't an idiot.
Well, I think you just buried the lead right there. He's an idiot. I don't think there's going to be another mixture of such talent and idiocy in one football player going forward. So I would never use Antonio Brown as a rule, more the exception.
He pulled it off, though, man. He did it. Like, it was such a show. And, but...
he did, but if you're Cleveland and you trade OBJ, you're not going to get back what you got for him. That's just business 101. You're not going to get back what you got for him. I mean, or what you gave up for him, I should say. So, yeah, he may want to be moved and he may be dysfunctional. But, man, it would be such a fucking Browns move to give up what you gave up just to give him up a year later.
Here's my prediction. So, Freddie Kitchens is gone at the end of this season, right? Do you think that, or do you think he's still hanging on?
I mean, you of all people would know this. Freddie Kitchens is white, so
I still think
he's... me that he didn't lose his job? No. But should he? Yes.
I think you have to go after a season like this. A season that's been such a disaster, like, from the media perspective, on the field.
But I say this to you too, Savage. I'm not a fan of firing a coach after 1 year. That literally makes no sense to me. So, yeah, I go to Steve Wilkes' example in Arizona. He got hold. But color aside, race aside, you should not fire a coach after one season if it's all performance. Now, if it's some crazy shit, that's another thing.
Even if your team has been like, because they've been the most dysfunctional team on and off the field. I mean, they're penalized. The whole Myles Garrett thing. I mean, I don't think it's ever going to get any higher than that. I mean, I don't think there's no way that it could. But I mean, if this is the Browns' move, you're cleaning house. You're flushing everything out. You're gonna get. I think he's gone. I think you're getting in Mike McCarthy. They're gonna get in some kind of guy who's gonna get the team all disciplined and in shape or whatever. But I mean, this is just so bad. Browns just need to cleanse themselves of everything and move on.
Yeah, but I mean, you're cleansing yourself of so much talent, and that was the whole thing that you sold your city and your team on, is that we're not those same old Browns. We got all of this talent. So just a year later to be like, we thought we had all that talent, but fuck that talent. We're going to rebuild, or we're going to start over. I don't know, man. That's just.
Well, I mean,
To
from
do
a
that
coaching
to your
standpoint,
second-year quarterback.
I don't think like.
Oh, well, yeah, definitely.
I think that, and I think Beckham's going to want to get traded. So I don't know if it's 100% going to happen, but I could just see that
That's a fact.
being like a spectacle, like like because he gave golden cleats to Tom Brady. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh, yeah, no, it's a fact that he's going to want out, but as an organization, you just can't have that. And like I said, if Freddie's gone, I wouldn't be surprised. But also, if he stayed another year, I wouldn't be surprised because, for one, it's just hard to instill a culture in one season. Especially when that season has a rough start, you're not going to be able to instill the culture because you're going to have to deal with all the losses. So, a year and a half tops. You give me a season and you suck. You give me a beginning of another season and you suck. There's no explaining that. But just 1 year, and you can be like, yeah, no, we're going to drop this. And then what does that show? Coaches coming in and interviewing for the position. They're like, I got to get this shit started early or I'm fucking out.
Yeah, it's true, but I just think the Browns have been such a mess. They got to do something to change the hearts and minds, because everybody who looks at the Browns looks at them as like that team. We're gonna pivot into NBA. Did you see the I think it was Golden State Mavericks game? Did you see any of that?
No, I saw the highlights. I saw this Luka Doncic kid who nobody believed in as far as because he wasn't American. Put up the youngest triple double. Of 40-point triple-double of all time. So the kid's special. If Porzingis can stay healthy, they're probably going to make some noise in the playoffs. And I wish that the Magic would have traded most of the first round together.
Dude, I'm on the Mavs train now. I know I still got my Lakers, Clippers.
Whoa.
Mavs are on the caboose.
You have one train. No, fuck that, bro. You have one train and it runs through Los Angeles.
Oh, come on.
We're fighting for your love.
I like the Mavs. I like the Mavs. I want to be
oh, my God.
Well, they're in the other division.
Look. Well, I mean, they're in the same conference, so it's going to come down to the Mavs, the Lakers, or the Clippers to make it to the championship. But, I mean, L.A., man, they're fighting for your love, and you just let this Dallas Ford come through and fuck it all up?
No. But I mean, I just, there's something on. It's my side. It's my side piece. Yeah.
Oh,
but
you are a savage, so it makes sense.
Yeah, dude, Lakers. I don't know. They're 12-2. LeBron, my boy Dwight, they're making it happen.
Dwight fucking Howard. Yeah, I mean, I don't have anything bad to say about Dwight Howard's basketball play, so I'm just going to leave that at that. LeBron James looking like the Wash King who leads the league in assists, so I don't know how washed you really are. You just want to make sure that you're not exuding too much energy too soon. You have a Clippers team who is getting full strength with PG and Kawhi, so we're going to be able to see what that's all about. But yeah, if you're the Lakers, focus on being really good defensively. LeBron faced so much flack for his defense in the past couple of seasons, and rightfully so on a lot of occasions. So the fact that he's on the best defensive team in the league says a lot about him and that team. So if they hang their hats on that, I feel like that's a route to a championship this season. So we'll see how long that keeps up.
Clips. Tonight's the first night they're both, him and Playoff P are going to play together. They're playing Boston right now. It's 63-63. I don't know. I mean, it's going to take them a while to, build up the chemistry. The Lakers seem to do it so fast, but I don't know. Are we opening the door too early on the Lakers, and I don't know, possibly closing the door a little too early on the Clips?
Yeah, we're doing everything too early. We're making assumptions less than 20 games in, but it's really nice to see the Lakers clicking this early. And again, the defense is the big thing for me. Obviously, when you have two of the most talented guys in the league, you're going to be a pretty good squad. But the fact that AD is competing for Defensive Player of the Year, And you got LeBron playing defense. You got guys like Avery Bradley and Jeff Green and Dwight Howard contributing defensively on a high level. That's what's going to make you hard to beat any given night versus trying to outscore everyone. You were expecting the Clippers to come through with the more powerful defense because they have more than two stout wing defenders. But if they can compete defensively, the Lakers are going to be a problem. And as far as the Clippers, let's just give them at least a month or two to really see what they're from.
Yeah, it's easy to jump the gun, because there's 82 games. Do you think there's too many games in the NBA? Would you shorten it?
I don't know if I'd shorten it because it gives the fans opportunities to see everyone. And if you're so lucky to live in a city where you have talented guys in your division more than one. So if you're the players, you're definitely not trying to shorten the season because it shortens your paycheck. And if you're the fans, it's more opportunities to see them. So I don't think so. 82 is a lot, but arguing that it's too much, I feel like that's debatable. It's not like the other sports as far as football, where it's so dangerous or strenuous that it would be detriment to the caliber of the product. But yeah, I feel like if they shorten it, I wouldn't be mad unless I'm a fan who's then going to lose out on an opportunity to see certain players.
Very politician answer there from Mr. Basketball. I wouldn't. I guess I don't care either way. But what I like, is seasons that matter. And you can say, yeah, the season does matter, but it's 82 games. Baseball is the biggest offender of this. They have 300 games. I don't know, probably that's too many. 150 games, something like that. Way too many games. I like how every week matters. So I don't know if they shortened it. I don't know if I would care. I don't know if that would make me watch it anymore. But you're right. The fans want to see it. Too bad you live in Orlando. I don't know. Orlando's there an 8th seed. What do you see from the Orlando Magic?
Oh, we're going back to the playoffs, and Markel Fultz is going to have what it means to do with it. That's what I'm going to really be talking about this entire season. Different as far as who we are. We're the exact same team last year, except for with Markel Fultz. So last year we made the playoffs. I don't see anything less, and his maturation, his improvement is icing on the cake. Our first round pick is out the entire year with a torn ACL, so it's not going to be much that we're going to get from him other than in practice. So yeah, probably a nice little first round exit if I'm being completely honest. But a disappointment if we don't make the playoffs because we were a playoff squad last year with the former first overall pick added.
Let me ask you a question, Sammy. If you only choose one, Orlando Magic win an NBA title or Ravens win another Super Bowl?
Magic title. Magic title. Did I answer that fast enough for you? I can go back in time. I could try to go back in time. Can't answer that faster. Orlando Magic title.
Why?
I don't think you understand. I'm not going to be myself at the parade of the Orlando Magic title. I'm going to continue to put this in the atmosphere. You're not the first person I told this. Not because we're not good right now, but more because I'm going to be disappointed in myself. If I'm not on somebody's fucking float when that parade goes down Orange Avenue, I'm really going to be disappointed in myself. Hopefully I don't get locked up for indecent exposure of being fucked up, but I'm going to feel like the ultimate sports fan because that's usually going to be one of the happiest days of my life. So it's Magic all day, every day, but also because we got titles. Don't ever get Baltimore fucked up. We got titles. So this would go into the trophy room, but yeah, you always got to go for the first title.
Good answer. Yeah, man. Could you imagine going Game 7 in Orlando and they win and just be a parade?
Dude, just a scene downtown. You already know what I'm talking about. So it's not, we're not the small market that everybody makes us out to be, but we're also not New York City or Atlanta.
Orlando has passionate fans.
Would be crazy.
If you go to
the scene downtown would be crazy.
If you go to a soccer game, they're all into it. I've never been to a Magic game. Are they into it there, Sammy? When you go?
Oh, yeah, but I mean, most cities, when you have a winner, everyone loves you. So when we're winning, I mean, we're one of the best fan bases in sports, right? I mean, when we're not winning, we find other things to do.
What else sticks out to you in NBA, Sammy?
The Boston Celtics, you were just talking about them. They're the number one seed in the East. I don't know if they're the best team in the East, and it's early. And if they are going to be one of the representatives or possible representatives for the Eastern Conference, it's not going to look good for them as far as the finals are. You're licking your chops if you're LeBron or you're Kawhi as far as what you see on the Eastern Conference. Those rules may be coming out as far as the NBA Finals. And if you're the TV exec and you're the NBA, that is not what you want. So hopefully Ben Simmons can find a jump shot and him and Embiid get clicking, or and Austin and Kupo start hitting some threes. But shout out to Brad Stevens. But other than that, I don't know if Boston's the best team in the league.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the East now. I don't know who would beat the Lakers, the Clippers, maybe the Rockets, but I guess the Bucks have the best chance just because of Greek Freak. Miami Heat, I don't know. They can shoot the ball pretty well. They did pretty good with their draft picks. I don't know. The 76ers, little, not enough sizzle enough for me to pay attention to them yet. So, but that's going to be tough. Whoever's ever going to come out of the East is definitely going to have their hands full. But let's talk about Denver Nuggets. Why is Denver so good at basketball consistently? Not great, but good.
I mean, I feel like they make the right organizational hires. Their coach Malone is a very underrated coach, and he's proven what you can do with the right type of talent. They're actually having a down year this year. The Joker is not really playing to his former All-Star caliber to start the season off. But I don't really feel like that's going to continue. And they're deep. They really go about 9-10 deep any given night. And they got guys, even though you may not know the name on the back of the jersey, they make the right plays. So their coach is a Pop disciple. So he comes from that San Antonio process of doing things. And if you hire the right type of coaches and the right type of guys to train your talent, then you should get the most out of it. And that's, I feel like, what you see from the Denver team.
Coach Pop, man. They're not doing too well. Do you see him coaching for a lot longer, or is this his swan song?
I feel like one of the underspoken storylines is what is San Antonio really going through right now. You bring Tim Duncan back in a coaching capacity. You have a guy in Pop who obviously wants to do more than coach, or to kind of steal the line from Parcells. He wants to have more control of the groceries that he's cooking with. But you have a GM in R.C. Buford who's proven, who's a championship GM. So maybe he's just not ready to just pass down the mantle or just step down or do something else with his life. Maybe he really enjoys being the GM of the San Antonio Spurs. So I feel like they have a lot of question marks going forward, because statistically Aldridge and DeRozan, they're not good when they're on the court at the same time. And normally you want to play your best two players on the court at the same time. So as far as the foreseeable future, they're not really going to make any noise. And if you're Pop, like you're saying, how long am I really coaching? Especially when I don't have a lot of talent to coach. And I don't see him really stepping away from basketball when he's coaching. So ideally, if you're San Antonio, you want to bump him up, give him some more responsibility. But I feel like if that was the move to make, it would have been made already.
What do you think about this? What do you think he's waiting for that, like, female coach? Like, to wait until she's ready? And what if he handed over the reins? I don't think you could do that. But, like, he kind of passed the buck. Could you see that happen in San Antonio?
I can definitely see that happen, and that would actually be pretty cool. I didn't really think about that. I feel like what I'm hearing as far as with Becky and her coaching opportunities, I don't know. It's a man's world, it's a man's game, and everybody always wants you to pay your fucking dues. No matter who they are, if you're trying to get where they are, they want to know what the fuck did you do to get where I'm at. So she probably has a couple more years as far as moving up the assistant ranks before she really gets a head coaching job. But if that process was to be expedited, it would be with San Antonio, and that'd be a cool little story.
Cool. All right, we saved the best for last. Cap. What did you make of that whole Saturday with Colin Kaepernick?
Saturday was a failed media blowjob by the NFL and successful embarrassment of the NFL by Colin Kaepernick. But no one really cares about the workout. He's not going to play in the NFL ever again. And I feel like Saturday just more so solidifies that. It's just one thing that really just stuck out with me about the whole situation. If an NFL team wanted Colin Kaepernick, they would have went after Kaepernick. So the more time that passed, the more I realized this was just a publicity stunt. And whenever Jay-Z's name was getting brought up, it kind of just brought to light that possibly he was definitely, pulling off a good faith gesture as far as I'm going to get to the NFL saying, hey, you should really give Cap a chance. That they would really give him a fucking chance after blackballing him for the past couple of years. So I like the idea of him pulling out that last second move, of switching it up, and maybe not going exactly conforming to the NFL's, rules for this particular workout. Also, the whole liability waiver was sketchy as shit, since it was a one-and-one waiver as far as normally athletes who try out for teams don't have to sign that specific waiver. And it was like a pre-employment waiver, like talking about what you do if you got a job when this wasn't even a technical interview. So it was just really fucking weird. But it was more so an attempt to control the media. That I feel like if Cap maybe did not win, he also didn't lose. But I don't think it was about him getting back in the NFL in the first place. So I don't think he's any closer at this one.
So, but there is backlash on Cap. A lot of people are like, well, why did he change the venue last minute? And some people said that was to stiff the NFL. Some people said it was for his own private, personal issues. What did you take from that?
Did you know that the media wasn't invited or allowed into the original workout at the Atlanta facility?
No shit.
Yeah, that's a factual statement.
Oh, well, now it all makes sense.
That's another little sketchy. Like, first, the redness of letting me know days in advance. Then you have this weird ass waiver. Then you have this weird ass day that is being held upon. And then on top of that, no one is able to film or see it except for your people and whatever people you allow me to bring in.
Yeah.
These are red flags.
No, that is. I did not realize they weren't going to let the media in, last second. Like, nah, it's terrible. Yeah, I mean, it's the NFL. They're going to do what they want to do. They're going to say, well, yeah, we gave them a shot. And, whatever shot that was, but it's terrible. Unbelievable. So what do you think? Where does Cap go from here? If someone invites him, does he go to that? Or does he just, what do you do?
Oh, yeah, best case scenario, if rumblings of how well you did strikes up an opportunity for you to go work out for a team, then you definitely do it. But, okay, so I'm going to say this shit, and I'm just going to get it off my chest real quick. There's a lot of people who have the narrative of, oh, Colin, if your only goal is to play in the NFL, why the fuck aren't you just doing what everybody says and just doing it how the NFL wants you to do it and just try to play in the NFL? If you want to play in the NFL, do what the NFL says so you can play in the NFL. I can't reiterate enough, this man's not a fucking criminal and he didn't do anything wrong. And when what the NFL wants you to do is more or different than what anybody else has to do to play, you have a right as a fucking free American to do your due diligence and try to figure out why you want me to do it this way. And if it's not beneficial to you, try to negotiate to do it another way. So it's really annoying as shit. And, if you're going to be a company man or you're going to be a shield guy, I'm not going to judge you because I don't know what that company or that shield did for you. But just don't play both sides. Don't try to act like you don't know why the fuck the man's doing what he's doing. It's blatant why he's doing what he's doing because they did what they did. They made a move. They stretched out their power. So now any leverage that this man has, he should exercise it. And if you're any type of person who had any dealings with any type of business, you understand that. So to hear these people on TV talk their shit, Stephen A. Smith, with your black ass. I don't really like it, and he's not the only one. I don't like it.
I like Steve.
But yeah, I had to get it off my chest, man.
No, that was great, man. That was like definitely from the heart, and you're right on most of that. I mean, it's he's got to feel like the most frustrated guy right now because he. Anyway, I'm gonna go over every team in the NFL, and I want you to tell me if he could make that roster or not.
It's gonna be yes on all of them. This is the thing that people aren't realizing in Savage's life. There's 2 to 3 quarterbacks on every team in the NFL. 2 to 3.
Right.
On every team. He's good enough to be one of those guys. That's absolutely factual. Even to this day, with him being out of the league for multiple years, I will be willing to bet a handsome amount of money that he's still good enough to be the 3rd best quarterback on 32 teams. That's just a fact. And the reason he is not even given a chance is because of what the stance that he took. The 3rd string quarterback on your favorite NFL team doesn't matter until the starter gets hurt. And it's rare that your starter gets hurt. So I say that to say your 3rd string quarterback doesn't matter. He's not going to contribute to the team. He's a guy that the organization likes, and he gives your scout team he gives your first team defense a good look when he goes scout throughout the week. So to say that Colin Kaepernick, a guy who took the team to a Super Bowl, isn't capable of that is insulting. So that's not the question. The question is the NFL going to admit that they're not giving him a chance because he took a stance that they don't agree with? Or, as a society, are we going to be like, hey, it's cool that one organization is able to silence a man when he takes a political stance? And obviously the latter is the truth. So it's not a question about how good he is. It's just a question about can we prove that once you give one company too much power that they do whatever the fuck they want, or do we care about that?
You tell him, Sammy. You tell him.
Yeah, I talk my shit. I talk my shit, man.
All right, but humor me. I'm gonna ask you if Colin Kaepernick could start for this team. Okay, now that's just who they have now. So I'm gonna mark down how many yeses. So Buffalo Bills.
Yes.
Miami Dolphins.
Yes.
Pats.
Pats, no.
The Jets.
No, only because the investment. If we're going off pure talent, yes. But you invest the 1st round pick, no.
Okay. Cowboys.
No.
Giants.
Yes. I know I'm kind of contradicting myself, but Daniel Jones just got picked, and no. Colin Kaepernick's better than him.
Yeah, I agree. Eagles.
No.
Skins.
Yes. Okay. Same thing for Dwayne Haskins. I said about.
Dude, that was a bad look when he was like, what do I have to do to get you guys to help me, to block? Did you see that?
No, for Haskins?
Yeah, Haskins is he's haggling with his offensive lineman. He's like, what do I have to do so you guys play better? And they're just looking at him like, what are you talking about? It was a bad look, dude. All right, Ravens.
Next team. You know the answer.
Bengals.
Absolutely. That'd be great fit for Kaepernick, honestly.
Browns.
Same reason I said for the Jets. No.
Steelers.
Yes, Big Ben is on his way out.
Bears.
Yes.
I think Trubisky, he's done. Lions.
Yes, I feel like Matthew Stafford is the Phillip Rivers of the NFC. Put that on a t-shirt.
I don't know. I would take Stafford over Rivers, though. Stafford just got hurt this year. He was actually off to a pretty decent start, but dude throws the ball a lot. Packers.
You listen to me right now. I literally just had that epiphany. Matthew Stafford is the Phillip Rivers of the NFC. But who'd you say?
Packers.
No.
Vikings.
No.
I know you wanted to say yes so bad, and I was gonna.
Oh, I thought about it. Oh, you would have asked me that question 3 games ago.
Texans.
No.
Colts.
No. Ooh, no. I don't
Jag-
think he's better than Jacoby Brissett, but that's a competition.
Jags.
No, they just gave Nick Foles a lot of money. No.
Titans.
Yes.
Falcons.
No.
Panthers.
Yes.
Saints.
No.
Bucks.
Yes.
Do you know how many interceptions Jameis Winston has this season?
I have no idea.
18.
More than touchdowns?
He has
How many
eight. He has 18 interceptions. I don't know. I just know how many interceptions he has. 18. And the Bucks have 2 of the highest wide receiver yardage counted. Like 2 and 3 are from the Bucks. Like, it blows my mind. I don't understand.
They never run the ball.
Broncos.
Yes.
Chiefs.
No.
Chargers.
Yes.
Raiders.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like you bring Cap in. I feel like you bring Cap in as a competition immediately. Derek Carr, if he goes to the playoffs and get a playoff win, that's his team. But he said a lot to prove.
Okay. Cardinals.
The same reason for the Jets and the Browns. No.
Rams.
No, because he just gave that trash. So much.
Niners.
No.
And Seahawks.
Nah, you're not starting over Russell last name Wilson.
So he could start on 14 NFL football teams, and I think that number is about right.
I mean, it's just incredible how none of those 14 teams are interested in him. But the NFL wanted to get film to give to them if they wanted to then invite him in to do the same thing over again, or they don't have access to the film he already has as a professional. So, whatever you want to make of that.
It's nuts. Email the show, sportssavageshow@gmail.com. You can tweet, Instagram me. That's always fun. At Garrett W Savage. We're gonna have to figure something out with Smooth Talk. With this whole phone situation.
Yeah, I'm gonna start a Twitter page if somebody gives me a MacBook. That's how I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna extort my life for social gain on social media. I mean, I feel like that's what it's there for. But yeah, till then, we going AO on them. I'm definitely working on getting the visual back up because everybody needs to see where the fuck these amazing takes are coming from. So I feel you on that one. But we still got to get the people what they want. Shout out to Jalen.
I know. I miss all the Orlando Magic hats.
Oh, and I got them 4 days.
All right. So I guess I don't know. Do we want to do a Sunday?
You know, we're going to touch and go basis. I feel like there's going to be a lot of shit going on. There's a couple of big games that we went over that I would like to give my take on, when I know I'm going to be right. But I mean, we can definitely play it by ear.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear.
The more we give to the people, they'll get an idea of what the fuck to do, start reaching out, and go from there.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. So yeah, you guys know how to contact us. I don't know. Have you heard of Adpocalypse on YouTube, Sammy?
Nah, I haven't.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. Like, if YouTube doesn't view your content viable, they can kick you out. So all the influencers, all them, they're already in. But I don't know, it's crazy. People are getting their stuff taken off. So I don't know how much longer. I mean, we're going to be on YouTube as long as we can. We're eventually just going to venture into podcast land, and you can listen to those anywhere. So But yeah, so you haven't, you heard it, you got an hour. I hope you enjoyed it. Tell your friends. Same, we're out of here.
Get us on YouTube before they become the fucking man. Until they're not a crook.